to RBA News Center. I am your host, Tampa RBA. Today we will have some new stuff to show you, but for now let's get on with the normal. Starting off with the scores across the Alliance. First up, we have the Marching Ents getting three great games. The first one against the Garbage, 40-11. Then killing the Punters, 70-6, and shutting out the Red Jackets, 54-0. Next up, we have Voodoo killing the Cobras, 62-6, beating the Mustangs, 48-13, and shutting out the Soul, 62-0. Next up, we have the Fire beating the New York Giants, 62-3, killing Buffalo, 56-6, and handing one to the Cincinnati, 48-6. Next up, we have Gibbons beating the Bears, 54-3, beating the Vikings, 52-3, and killing the Buccaneers, 64-8. Next up, we have Chuckanut Bay beating Green Bay, 46-6, beating Philadelphia, 48-3, and killing Miami, 36-7. Next up, we have Las Vegas beating Cleveland, 30-14, shutting out Washington, 56-0, and getting a hard win, 33-29 against Kansas City. Next up, we have the Biscuits tying Philadelphia, 14-14, then getting two straight shutouts against Cleveland and Pittsburgh, 30-0 and 32-0. Next up, we have the French Kisses beating Denver, 30-25, following that up with a win against New England, 32-6, and beating Buffalo, 40-10. Next up, we have the Miami Vice beating Philadelphia, 56-6, following that up against the New York Jets, 56-6, and beating New York Giants, I'm assuming, 54-3. Next up, we have the Red Comets beating the Texans, 56-3. Then the Mustangs, 40-3, and then the Red Jackets, 43-20. We actually have some highlights from the Red Comets. Let's watch. First up, we have this long pass for a touchdown to Silk. Next up, we have a pass from Plum trying to get to this Hall guy, and it's incomplete, a little bit too far. Next up, he's going to get sacked twice. There's sack number 1, and then sack number 2. Players didn't get wide enough first, but this sets him up for a 4th and 22. Is he going to make it? He sets up for the long bomb, and Silk gets it for 22 yards for the first down. Next up, we have his final game against the Red Jackets, going to Silk for a 41-yard touchdown. Next up, we have a field goal in the last second of the game, and it doinks off the upright for 38 yards. Great job to them. Now it's in with the new, with our E-League scores. First up, we have the Broncos versus the Bulldogs. Bulldogs win it 307-216. Next up, we have the Ravens versus the Seahawks, with the Ravens winning 374-215. Next up, we have the Kansas City versus the Steelers, with Kansas City winning 374-192. Next up, we have the New York Giants versus the Chicago Bears, with New York winning 280-241. Next, we have the Lions versus the Saints, with the Lions winning 315-257. Then we have The Los Angeles Rams beating the San Francisco 49ers 367 to 291. Here are your standings after the first game. I'd really like to see how those Rams and those Ravens will be doing for the rest of the season. Let's see if one of the teams that lost, like the Broncos or the 49ers, can come up and win. That is all, folks, for RBA News Center. I see you tomorrow with an interview with the Red Comets. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time on RBA News Center.